yeah, travel was a fun experience. The place is just a shit.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ranger and Chow. I'm Ranger.
I'm Chow.
And some fantastic topics to go through today. And the first one we're going to start off with is one that's very, very close to Chow's heart, because he went flying yesterday, so he can tell us a little bit about that experience, which I'm sure will be entertaining.
Oh look, you know I do love a good rant, and I do love the ignorance of the human race, so it's fun just to get into these topics and just do a little bit of outsider looking at the world around us and the competencies we have within our communities.
Ignorant humans.
So essentially, I'm in the process of looking to move from Queensland to South Australia. Well, the wife's got a good job opportunity there, beautiful little country town.
Why wouldn't you? Coastal,
Exactly.
coastal on the beach, beautiful.
I'll throw some pics up in the Facebook page there just to show you how amazing it looks. But then you get the flip side. We're going to a small country town, so they're a little bit backwards in country towns. I've done the countryside for Queensland now, out in Roma, Queensland. Awesome. But you get a different type there. So we get on this flight to come home. I'd had a couple of drinks because I had to get rid of them before getting on the flight. Forced my hand, I did.
I did that in Thailand. What do they call it when you're going through the international screening?
Oh,
And
yeah,
I had a
customs.
full bottle of rum, and they said, no, you cannot take the rum on the plane. Put it in the bin. And I've gone, I won't put it in the bin. So I've opened it up and I've sculled like half of it. Then I've got to put it in the bin. The guy's just looking at me going, oh, this is bad.
That's a good story too. My mother-in-law, no, sorry, my stepmother. She's this petite little lady, very reserved, nice woman, and bottle of Chivas Regal, same deal at the airport. Told couldn't take it. It was probably about as much as was in that. Between her and my father and my brother, they drank it in front of the people at the airport because it was an expensive bottle and they weren't leaving it. And I thought that was brilliant, but I'd never seen them do
Absolutely,
something
why
like
wouldn't
that.
you?
But
I'm thinking they're not getting my bloody $20 bottle of rum.
God no. So I was pretty chirpy by this point. We're getting on the flight and we are taxiing down the runway. This woman is still on her phone, texting her friends about how exciting it is to be leaving wherever the hell she... just ignorance. So,
Turn your phone off when you're on the plane.
being three parts on top of the world.
I don't even know if that is a thing, like if it really actually does anything.
Look,
but
I put it up there very similar with, you know, the whole idea of you can't have your phone at a service station. It's been proved that it
But it's
doesn't
a rule.
actually affect it, but it's a rule
It's a rule.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
And
we are as sticklers for the rules here at Ranger and Chow.
but at the end of the day, if something does really go wrong, I'd hate to be the one that calls it. So we're taxiing down, she starts texting on a little bit chirpy, so I leant over to her across the hall, across the aisleway and went, excuse me, now might be a good time for you to turn that on airplane mode. She looked a bit shocked at me, she goes, oh yeah, okay.
Who the hell are you, mate?
Yeah, right, who are you and why is this guy telling me what I
My
should
name's
do?
Chow and I'm telling you, turn it off, bitch.
Well, the point, if I can't text anyone, you can't. It was kind of one of those moments where I'm like, if this is a movie, I'd just grab her phone, throw it on the ground, and just start stomping it. But I didn't. And then the plane proceeded, and obviously with the current climate of the world, you have to wear your face mask on aeroplanes and such.
Yeah. Seems like a good idea.
It's
very
a
nice.
horrible thing. No, I strongly dislike wearing face
They're hot.
masks. They're hot. You're
Yeah,
breathing
yeah.
your own breath for ages. It's like
Yeah.
being an asbestos removal with a mask on all day. It's pretty much my
Not sure I
entire
wouldn't know
life.
what that's like.
Yeah, right? So, he gets his bottle of water as soon as the lights go off and people are allowed to walk around and come through with drinks and refreshments. Gets himself a bottle of water. You're allowed to take your mask off when you're drinking or eating.
Ah, that's a loophole.
3-hour flight. He had it on for the last 10 minutes of flight and the first 10 minutes of the flight. The rest of the time he's sitting there breathing, carrying on, playing with his phone. Yeah, 1.5 metre restrictions
That's a
between
real
people.
loophole, actually, isn't it? You're like, if you can eat and drink, like, sit there and have 3 or 4 beers on the flight, and you don't have to wear your mask the whole flight.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, no, you don't get alcohol on daytime flights anymore either.
Oh, really?
And that's
Why
another
not?
thing that blows my mind. On a very reputable airline, I would have happily paid for alcohol. I'm an Australian and I do like a drink. I'm sitting on a flight for 3 hours with my 3-year-old and my wife. There's not much to do. He's a little bit frustrating because he's a 3-year-old on a plane with nothing to do. I'd love a drink. I will pay you money to serve me alcohol. No, sir, we don't even load alcohol onto the plane until after 6 o'clock in the evenings now. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
we are in the worst situation for air flight. They are losing money hand over fist.
What's the story with meals? They give you a meal?
No meals.
No meals.
No, got a really nice cookie. I say really nice. It was pretty ordinary. I was just really hungry at that time of last night.
So this is a top end Australian airline.
This is one of the still very well surviving airlines.
And you're getting a cookie.
You get a cookie. Some
Wow,
water,
and it
you
was
get
at lunchtime.
Tea and coffee. Yeah, it was. It was 12:30 through
Wow.
till
That
2:50
sucks.
we arrived. So that's a good portion of your lunch through to afternoon right there.
Yeah.
No food services anymore. And look, I
Man.
get it because they're losing money. They're cutting costs. Serve alcohol. Make money. Ugh. Like the dumbest
The
shit.
frustrations of flying.
But I mean, perhaps it's a licensing thing. Maybe they get away with a cheaper license that they don't serve until later in the day. I'm not
The
sure.
last time I flew on that very reputable airline with a great safety history, I was flying into Darwin from Bali, and I know when you fly into Darwin, if you're on the right-hand side of the plane, you see the Macca's restaurant there just before you get to the runway, and it's at night time, so I'm looking for the Macca's. You know, where's the Macca's? And it never came up. So,
Can I just interrupt you for 1 second there?
yes,
I've got something very pressing. Just need another drink.
yes, right, okay.
My apologies for the unprofessionalism there.
Edit.
Actually, well,
That's an edit.
Darwin.
Anyway, and yeah, we're coming to land and no sign of the Macca's, and I thought, we're a fair way from the runway right now, and we're very, very low. It's looking like we're about 100 feet, which is about 30 metres. It's not very high.
For anyone that's not 100 years
And then
old,
all of a
in
sudden,
aviation.
full power, you push back into the seats and everything, and this thing's just rocketing up back up into the air.
Oh, got that one wrong there.
And as I'm watching the runway, it took like another 30 seconds before I even saw the start of the runway. I'm going, oh, we really did miss that by a long shot.
Missed it by that much.
Don't you hate it when you come in just a little bit under power and you look like an idiot?
Yes. Well, anyway, so survived it though, but yeah, it was a bit scary. This super reputable airline with a great safety history is starting to get a bit dodgy, I think.
Speaking of dodgy, the little town that we flew into in SA would have a shed not much bigger than the one we're sitting in right now, and that is their airport and 2 car rental mobs. There is one desk either side for the car rental mob. Why do you need 2 car rental places in there? 30 people could fit on the plane.
I
That's
think
all you
it's-
can fit on the plane.
I
30
think it's-
people. How many
It's
cars?
impressive that you can rent a car in such a small country town at the airport.
And you know what? They're almost brand new too. The cars are just perfect.
What sort of cars?
I got a Hilux. The other couple.
Oh, decent trucks.
Yeah, like, and one of the new Hiluxes with digital monitor in the
Yeah,
middle with
wow.
your apps and everything. Bluetooth, so it just links to your phone, and you have text messages. The whole phone is in the screen, which is super safe.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a while before I can afford a brand new Hilux. Unless, of course, you assist us by subscribing to the channel down there. And don't forget to visit our Patreon site. With the support from Patreon, we can continue to make these videos. And at a later stage, we can even perhaps travel and do little challenges that you set for us through Patreon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good
Mate,
thing.
we are all about interactive, so if there's something stupid you want us to do or talk about or anything like that, hit us up. Make sure you're onto our socials. Make sure you're supporting us so we can keep doing what we do. And cheers.
Cheers. Until next time.
There was something else I was going to say.
Playing with shit up, rattling.